On today's episode, I'm going to do my monthly portfolio update. My portfolio right now is up almost $23,000, and this is me being a long-term investor. And on today's episode, I'm going to take a look at what easy steps I do to beat the market right now and what I'm going to continue to do for the upcoming months. I'm also going to talk about my winners, my losers, and show all of my positions. So this is the part where I normally spend about 45 seconds to a minute explaining why you should like the video, check out my socials and Patreon. But for the next few days, I want to use it to try to make a difference. Right now, there are tons of kids asking Santa for happiness. This year has been pretty rough for many people, and usually kids don't understand why. And if you're watching this video, it probably means you are blessed like me to continue to put money to work in the market. And I just want to say there are easy ways to give back to the community. One method my wife found is USPS Santa Operation, where kids write to Santa and you can read the letter and adopt the child and send them a gift. I'm sure there are other methods out there, but I just want to use this platform for this. Now, I hope you guys don't mind that short off topic, and let's get back to the episode. Like always, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jose Najarro and I am a self-taught investor. So like I mentioned, today it will be December 14th of 2020 and I will be doing my portfolio update. Right now it is sitting a little bit higher, 69,000 on full position size. So if you guys are new to the channel, I have been doing videos like this for almost the past 7 months where I've just been taking a look at my portfolio. Here we can look, for example, one of my first videos was on July 20th. On July 20th of 2020, my portfolio was up $5,000 and that is up $5,000 on 5 gain. Fast forward to September 2nd of 2020 was a great 3 months. My portfolio jumped up $14,000 400 in pure gains. These are just pure gains from my investments. Then fast forward to November 20th of 2020, about a month ago, my portfolio hit almost an all-time high of gains of $18,000. Again, these are just pure gains from my investment. Right now, sitting on December 14th of 2020, my portfolio is up 22,700 at the moment. And again, these are pure gains. We're going to see I do invest. I am a long-term investor and I put money to work on a weekly basis. But these gains right now are just pure gains from my overall investments, not gains from the money I deposit into my account. And here I do have timestamps or just another showing my portfolio. And one thing you're going to see, I do have 3 portfolios for those that don't know. And my portfolios, even though they're 3 separate portfolios, I do manage them exactly the same. The reason I have different portfolio, for example, I have a small portfolio of about $5,000 where I put a few $100s a month. And this is just to show, hey, you can have a portfolio do great returns even if you invest $25, $50 a week on it, and you can still make great returns on that. Then I have a middle-sized portfolio. This is a portfolio that I have that when I think when COVID situation started happening, I wanted to see how the market would react after that. So again, they're all pretty much handled the same, and since Fidelity allows me to open up multiple portfolios without any form of setback, I just like doing it to try to see the different styles of investments. But overall, I do manage them all the same. Now, the most important thing, and like I mentioned on today's episode, I am going to take a look at the easy steps that I follow that help me beat the market. And that to me is one of the most important things, right? To me, I want to be able, I'm investing in this because it truly is my passion. I enjoy researching new companies. I enjoy learning about growth stock, about value stocks. I am pretty much, like I said, a self-taught investor that has been doing this for the past 7-8 years, just learning about the overall market. And now I decided to videotape the process. So right now, what I have here are my 3 portfolios. And there's this amazing website that is called Am I Beating the Market? And here you put how much you put into the market, into your portfolio account every single week, monthly, or wherever. And it shows you how much your portfolio would be if instead of investing the way you invest, it would be if it invested in 100% stocks on an ETF or index fund. So for example, my big portfolio, my current value on my big portfolio is about $40,100. If I would have used that money the exact same time I put it in the overall market, in an index fund that just invested in the overall market, that portfolio instead would have been 32,876. I would have had $7,000 less than what I have right now. And this is insane, right? My total deposits in that portfolio is 28,500 and now it's sitting at 40,131. That is gains of about 13.5. That is it for me. I mean, I guess for everybody it's different. It's different, right? Money or your financial situations might be different for you, but for me, an extra 13,500, that's a whole student loan payment. That's a whole car loan payment. That's getting close to a 20% mortgage on a house. If I'm looking, that's getting close to that, or having a nice percent of just cash available. So results, right? My current portfolio right now, in my big portfolio, it is a 40% compared to my initial investments. If I would have just invested in the overall market or an ETF, I would have done 15.33%. So right now I'm doing almost 2.7 times better than investing in the overall market. And that type of wealth, like we know, compound interest is what really grows. And if I'm speeding up that process, I can see that, hey, my financial independence is on me. And right now I am doing amazing with it. Obviously, the way the market goes is very volatile. There's going to be times when I might not be doing as well, but I'm happy that right now I am having that overall nice gap between myself and the overall market. For example, my Medium account is another one. If right now total deposits of about 15,500, and if I would have just invested in the ETF of the overall market on those same days I deposit, I would have had 19,100, and that would have been about 22% gains. That's not bad at all. But with the way I'm investing, that current value right now is sitting at almost $24,000 and about 53.86% gains compared to the inception. And if I would have invested in ETFs, I would have had about $5,000 less. Again, that's life. That to me is a nice amount of money. Right now I'm up about 7.6 on it. Now in my small account, right, my small portfolio, and again, this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest ways to show that, hey, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need to have thousands and thousands of dollars to invest in the market and still make great returns. So my small account is current total deposit was about $3,339. If I would have just invested in the ETF or in the overall market, it would have been $3,800. And again, not bad returns. That would have been about 14% returns. My current value is 5,064, 51.67% gains, almost 3.7 times better than the overall market. So how am I doing this? What kind of secrets am I doing to beat the market? And if I may be honest, there are no secrets to beat the market. I just have a strategy and I follow that strategy. My main strategy, invest in long term. I put money to work on a weekly basis. That money goes to work right away. Open mind. There is no one way to invest. There's many people believe that, hey, you need to have X amount of positions to have the best portfolio to beat the market. You need to have only X amount of markets. To me, I have a big multiple position portfolio. I have about 62 positions in my portfolio. At the same time, you're going to be like, Jose, 62, might as well invest in the overall market. We saw if I would have invested in the overall market, I would have not done the results I've had right now. But I do make some form of changes. For example, my top 25 positions make up 65% of my portfolio cost basis. So 25% of my 25 positions of my positions, very concentrated, make up more than half of my total portfolio. If we take a look at current value, they make up almost 70% of my total portfolio. So we can see those 25 positions are such a leading consumer in my overall portfolio. They're such a leading driver right now. My other 37 positions make up 35%. So like I said, I like learning about companies. I enjoy it. This is definitely a passion for me. So for me, I don't mind having multiple positions. I personally, like I said, enjoy this. So I take my time to research all these companies. I have gone through a technique where it takes me a lot. I've been doing this for the past 6, 7 years. So I've developed a method to go with my madness. And it takes me a lot. It takes me a lot less time to research companies compared to someone who's just starting off. This is just the way it is. Experience makes things better and faster. Like I put tons and tons of hours doing this. The other thing is, even though I have multiple positions, those positions are really in just certain markets. I'm in the esports market, the cloud service, tech components, cloud security, consumer products, business products, e-payment, and e-commerce. I'm not in the banks. I'm not in oil. I'm not in energy. I'm not in a lot of markets that I don't understand. I personally just invest in companies that I understand, in companies I'm able to read what they're gonna do and see what type of growth is coming based on the overall market trends. My other thing is take out emotions. How is one way I take out emotions? One of my ways to take out emotions out of this strategy game is by having 62 positions. By having no limited amount of position, it allows me to sleep at night carefully, because if one position goes down, I'm not gonna lose sleep in it. The second thing I want that I don't mention here is I have money outside the market, right? My portfolio is not all the cash I have available. If a downturn happens, if something negativity happens in my life, I have cash outside to be able to survive. That's another way of taking out emotions from the game. The final way to take out emotions is due diligence. For example, a lot of people try to follow different investors into certain stocks, but you're never going to have the conviction that person has because they do that due diligence. So for me, before I buy a company, I do research from taking a look at their most recent earnings, take a look at historical fundamentals, take a look at their future expected growth, take a look at their products, try to understand who their customers are. So there's a process that I do before buying a company. And I also only buy companies in the following: strong markets. I showed you guys the markets I'm hitting. Companies that are growing with high revenue growth, companies with a strong balance sheet. And another thing is I buy my winners. And this is probably something that a lot of people don't do. If every week I also post every stock that I buy. And some people might be like, Jose, why are you buying into this stock? It's so high right now. It's one of my winners. It's high for a reason. It is doing amazing right now, and I'm going to continue to buy because I'm here for the long term of things. I'm not seeing things in the next few days. I'm not seeing in the next few weeks. I'm not even seeing things in quarters. I'm looking at the years. And in the next 5 years, this small volatility that we're seeing right now is not going to affect me in the overall portfolio. So if you guys want to learn more about my investing style and just want to grow your education, make sure to check out my Patreon, Jose Najarro Stocks, where I have where I'm showing a lot of my educational videos there and a lot of great information. So make sure to check that out as well. So here are my top 5 winners, and I like to compare them to my top 5 winners of my last month to see what has changed. The first thing I'm seeing is my top 5 winners of last month made up $6,700 in gains. Now they make up $7,600 in gains. So my top 5 winners are making more money for me. And there's actually been some changes. 3 of my top 5 winners are the same for both this month and last month, and that's Cerence, Celsius, and Sea Limited. These have been great returns. Look at it. Cerence, 151% gains. Celsius, 185% gain. Sea, 91.85% gain. Then my next two are Roku, 202% gains, and we have AMD at 121% gains. Last month, I had PDD instead of Roku, and I had Square instead of AMD. But we can see, right, these are just great guys, right? Great stocks right now, just doing amazing in my portfolio. And to be honest, I don't know if, with my multiple positions, if I only had a 20 position portfolio, if these companies would have made that list. And that's what I'm trying to say. For me, I don't mind having multiple positions because at the end of the day, I wouldn't know if the 20 positions that I hold would be on any of these 5. Next, let's take a look at my top 6 to 10 winners. Last month, my top 6 to 10 made up 3,800 of my gains. Now they make 4,900 of my gains. And actually some of the ones in here are ones that were in my previous one. So currently Square comes in at number 6, PDD comes in at number 7. PDD, look, it's up almost 300% in my portfolio. Square is up 250%. PDD is one that is doing amazing right now for me, and I can honestly say if I only had 20 positions in my portfolio, PDD would have never made it in there. So again, you can see the and even if there's such a small position, they're making money for me. 282% is amazing. So don't let anyone tell you that, hey, you only need to have 20 positions in your portfolio to make it big. You only need to have 10 positions. You only need to have 50 positions. No, I'm saying there's no perfect investment styles. It's only the way that is comfortable for you. Everybody has a different risk tolerance. Everybody has different emotional tolerance, and everybody has a different financial situation. My number 8 comes in at Spotify, up 69%. My next one is Disney. Who would have thought Disney would have been in my top 10? Disney is up 60.34%. And then we have Fastly up 77%. So, and last month we had Google and NIO here. Not NIO, NIO. NIO and Google are doing amazing still for me right now, but they just didn't make my top 10 list. Now let's take a look at my losers. So my total losers last month, counting my realized gains and my realized losses and my unrealized losses, made a total loss of $1,350. Now my realized losses and my unrealized losses make up $953 of loss. So we can see my total losses has decreased, which is great. I'm really liking it. I'm also liking that I do have some losses right now, so I don't really have to, in realized losses. So that's gonna help me out a bit in taxes in a bit. But we can see my biggest loss right now is Intel Corporation at -$100. APXT at -$50. This is the only SPAC I have right now that is losing money. Then we have Ping at -$40. We have TWOU at -$33 and TDOC at -$33. So that's not even $400 in losses. My biggest winner, my number one winner, can pretty much handle all my losses and still have gains left over. I think even my number 10th, even my number 10th winner can handle all my losses. And look at this, compared to last month Dropbox was one of my losers. Now, if you guys have been watching Dropbox has been doing amazing, so it now has become a winner. Another one is Tattoo Chef. Last month was one that I've been talking about, and I feel like I've gotten a few hate about it because it's been dropping. TTCF is now one of my greatest winners as well, compared to it being a loser back then. So by me having so many positions, it allows me again to control my emotions. I saw Dropbox, I saw TTCF, Tattoo Chef last month doing bad. I didn't really care. I saw the fundamentals. I held a great position size for my standards, and I wasn't emotional about the trade. So I was patient, and now look, that patience turned okay, and now those are actually great winners for me. Now here you guys can take a look at my total position size, and here they are listed in order if you guys want to take a look at them. All of these I've done videos on, and here I have, you can see 3 colors. My dark green, those are my top 5 winners. My top 5 winners, like I mentioned, you would have expected them to be my biggest positions, but look, they're not. That means that, hey, Jose, even though you are a great stock picker, you're not the greatest. If you were the greatest, your biggest positions would always be your top 5 winners, but that's not the case. Then I have my light green. Those are my number 6 to 10th position. Again, Jose, if you were a great stock picker, those 6 to 10 would have been your top 6 to 10 position size. Those weren't the cases. And one thing I do like is, look, my red are my biggest losers. These are the stocks I'm losing the money right now. I'm not losing much on them. We saw about $300 loss, and right now my portfolio is up about $22,000, $23,000. Right, look, my total portfolio before investment was $46,000. Now it's sitting at $69,000. 100,000. That is life for me. That is great returns. I can't ask for more. I'm doing it in the method that works well for me, in the method that I feel comfortable, in the method that I can go sleep at night and not be emotionally affected by what happens in the market at all. So take care, guys. Have a good night and see you next time.